Good morning. Today I'm going to show you how we make pizza dough that we can put in the freezer and have ready to go whenever we want. Usually we like to do pizzas on Fridays, and if we have pizza dough already done and in the freezer, it's very easy to take it out, thaw it, put our toppings on it, and put it right into the oven. Just makes it a very simple and easy thing to do, and I'm going to show you my process for making pizza dough for our large family of 9. We're going to start with 4 cups of warm water. So what I'm doing is just getting my water temperature where it needs to be. And I'm looking for a temperature that's matching basically blood temperature. So the temperature of my fingers. And if it's warm on my hands, it's a little too warm. We just adjust that until we get it to be about the temperature of our blood, which is about 98 degrees, 98 to 100 degrees. I have a 4-cup measuring thing here. I'm going to take this over to the mixer. And I dumped some of that on the floor. Oh well. Alright, so we have 4 cups of warm water. Next is 4 teaspoons, not tablespoons, teaspoons of yeast. Four tablespoons. I forgot, I'm doubling this recipe. So 4 tablespoons of sugar. That's going to give the yeast something to grow with. We're going to do 10 cups of all-purpose flour. This says sapphire flour. This is just where I keep my big bucket of flour. So we're going to do 10 cups. This is a 2-cup measure, so I'm going to do 5 of these. And that's number 5. Next is a tablespoon of salt. And we don't put the salt in before the flour because some people will tell you that the salt will kill the yeast. I never risk it, so I will just add the salt on top of the flour. That way it all gets incorporated easily and evenly. And I almost forgot the oil. So we need about a 1/4 cup or 4 tablespoons of oil. And I always eyeball this. I do not measure it. But I've been doing this for, oh my goodness, 20 years. I think this recipe I actually got, I believe it's from the Betty Crocker cookbook from, oh my goodness, way back. My mom had maybe a 1960s version, 1970s. I don't know. This recipe, we've been using it for years and years and years. So now I'm going to put the dough hook attachment onto my mixer. Just like that. I'm also going to put the lid on so flour does not go flying at me. And we're going to mix this on a speed of 1. I don't know if you can see the speed on the side. I got a speed of 1. And I'm going to set it for about 5 minutes. I'm going to turn it on. and it's going to do its lovely thing. So while our dough is mixing, I'm going to take my 2 pizza pans. I only have 2 of these. So I'm also going to use my large cookie sheet. And we're going to get these prepared. I'm going to spray some cooking oil on them just to grease them. And then I'm going to use a paper towel to just kind of spread that grease around and get the pans nice and greased up. Yes, I get a little bit of oil on my counter, but that's okay. So spread a little bit of oil on the pan. And simply wipe the oil around on the pan to grease them. The mixer just finished, so I'm going to lower this, take my lid off, and look at that lovely dough. It's not sticking to the bottom of my pan or my bowl. It has pulled away nicely and is pretty elasticy. So you could mix it for a little while longer. I'm going to just work with it the way it is now because I have to get lunch for my kids. And I don't want this to sit and begin to rise. So we're going to pull this out of the bowl and I'll show you what's next. So I brought my bowl of dough over here and I'm simply going to plop it out onto the counter. Maybe. There you go. And that's how you know you've got a great dough, when you have a nice clean bowl. I'm just going to kind of roll my dough just a little bit, just to get it nice and smooth. Okay. Now I'm just going to take a knife and divide this into four portions. Well, actually I'm going to divide it into half because my big cookie sheet will take half of it, and then a quarter portion for each of my cookie sheets.
Lunchtime.
It'll be lunchtime soon, little one.
Mom.
All right, so this half will be for that cookie sheet, and then I'm going to divide what's left into half for each one of my pizza sheets. Just like that. So now we're going to take the greased pizza pan, and I'm just going to start working with my dough and kind of patting it out into a circle. I like to use the heel of my hand, and I push against the dough and I gently pull it as I rotate. Uh-oh, what are you catching? Fruit fly?
Yes.
Don't touch, please. So I'm going to take the heel of my hand and I'm going to just gently begin working the dough while I'm pulling the pan in a circular motion. And that will gently pull the dough out to the edge of the cookie sheet, or the pizza pan. And every once in a while I'll go in and just kind of pat it out. But you want to just gently stretch the dough. You don't want to pull it and break it and tear it. Just ever so gently, back and forth. And eventually it begins to reach the edge of the cookie sheet. I keep calling it a cookie sheet. It's a pizza pan. So we're going to let this one rest for a moment while I begin working with the other one. And again, just doing the same thing. Gently stretching my dough, not tearing it, but just working gently with it. It's a very soft dough. Just kind of patting it on, and again using the heel of my hand, rotating my sheet, and just kind of rocking it towards the edge of the pizza pan. There we go, I said it right. And we'll continue that until it's all done. The pizzas are all rolled out now, and they're just nice and lovely. And to the corners, or to the edge, I guess I should say, not the corners. But yeah, so I love this recipe. Sometimes you get a little thin spot and you just kind of push the dough around a little bit. But yeah, very nicely done. Now what I will do is I will flash freeze this, which means I'm simply going to put it in the freezer. Give it, I don't know, maybe an hour or two to freeze solidly enough to pop this out of the pizza pan. And then I'll wrap that in saran wrap very, very well, and we'll put these back in the freezer. And when we are ready to use them, we'll simply plop them out, put our pizza toppings on them, and put them in the oven. And that'll be a great quick meal for our family. All right, if you like this video, make sure you give it a like and maybe consider subscribing, and we'll keep sharing more videos as we get to filming them. See you later. Bye.